Ladies and gentlemen, this is your late night AEW Dynamite review on Friday night or Saturday morning in my case, as a time at the time of filming, it is 12:13 a.m. It is Friday night, I'm gonna say. May 28th, 2021. This is Joseph Conlon on the AEW Dynamite review. And as you can see, we have a new setup. We don't have to do I don't have to do this anymore, right? When I put the phone up on the screen. You got Wes Williams right on the screen. You already know, man. You already know. Dude, dude, big show tonight. We got a full AEW crowd capacity back, man. Holy shit. That gave me chills. That I was so happy to see that, dude. You know?
Man, AEW fans are back in attendance for AEW Dynamite, man. The energy, the atmosphere, you could just eat it with a fork, man. It was so great to just see that all unfold. I mean, this is what these shows needed so badly over the course throughout this pandemic, and now we finally have it here. And man, this was just 50% capacity tonight. We got full capacity this Sunday night at Double or Nothing. If we got this amount of energy tonight from half of a crowd, just imagine when we get that full 5,000 seats filled up at Daly's Place this Sunday night, man, for Double or Nothing. It is going to be absolutely electric. Great fun show tonight, man. Great way to build up for the final build for Double or Nothing this Sunday, man. It was great. AEW always knows how to give you a good time.
Oh man, we only got 50% capacity. They were loud, man. Let me tell you, it's crazy the amount of people that are over on this roster, man. I mean, my God, Darby Allin. I'm so happy that he got the first big entrance in front of a big crowd, like in the return of AEW. Tony Khan said on the Unrestricted, this is a new era for AEW. He said it was starting at Double or Nothing. It felt like it started tonight. For me, the new era of AEW started tonight, as we've said it on the channel before. We were sick and tired of the same setup and the same look every single week in Daly's Place. I don't know about US. For me, tonight's show felt fresh. It wasn't a perfect show, a fantastic show. It was a really good show. But the main standout to me is this show felt fresh. We got the old Daly's Place setup. We had the crowd. We had fans ringside. That was awesome, man. Tonight's show felt so fresh.
Absolutely. I mean, very fresh feeling. I mean, you could tell watching these 2 hours of Dynamite tonight that so many new stars have been made in AEW, and people have the gall to come out on Twitter and come out on social media and say, "Oh, AEW is nothing more than WWE light. Oh, they only push rejected WWE talent." Really. So, see Darby Allin. See, we got Brit Baker. I mean, Miro. But Miro's a WWE reject, though, right? I'm sorry. But no, AEW, see, they know how to organically build up and create new stars. Whereas, you got a company like WWE where they don't want to, push new stars. And if they push any new stars, it's people that the fans don't want. See, AEW knows what the people want, and they give the people what they want, because you got to give the people what they want at the end of the day. Isn't that right, Joseph? You got to give the people what they want.
Absolutely, man. AEW brings that love out of you. I might sound like a shill. I don't really care, though. That's so old, but yeah, man. Repping the shirt.
Loud and proud, man.
AEW brings that. AEW brings that Mark fan out of you, and for me, I don't care. And man, before we get into the review, we are going to get in this review in a little bit, folks. But man, so I did not watch SmackDown tonight. I decided to chill out until waste a couple hours before Dynamite started. I was hanging out on Twitter. Man, did you see that promo that Tony Khan did on the whole WWE New Japan thing? Oh my God.
Yeah, I did catch that. I did catch it right before Dynamite started tonight. Tony Khan, and I love the fact that he's working everybody too. I mean, I'm still seeing people on social media getting all salty after what Tony Khan said, and of course, and then I heard another report that people within WWE are upset, as they should be, because Tony Khan is the forbidden door. Tony Khan is the forbidden door. See, yeah, they got their cons mixed up. Tony Khan, that's the true Khan right there. And then, like you said, Nick Khan, that's a con man. I don't know who this con man is, but Tony Khan, that's the forbidden door. And man, I loved him. Man. I love the fact that Tony Khan, he knows what he's doing. He knows that he's working everybody. It's like the Young Bucks, with their heel gimmick, how they've been working everybody, and people are getting so upset on social media, on Twitter, and then meanwhile, all these guys, I bet you they're looking at their phones, they're just laughing their heads off because they know everybody's getting worked right now.
Oh man, everybody in WWE was so pissed off. It must have been a bad night over at the Youngling Center for Smith. It must have been a terrible night over there, dude.
It must have been horrible. I bet you they're still crying about it now.
Yeah. Oh my God. A whole fiasco on that situation, which I dropped a little video on it today. So if you haven't checked that already, go ahead and check that out. Also, Wesley was on the roundtable discussion, man. You got to go ahead and check that round. You got 2 nights. You got 2 nights to go check out that roundtable discussion, man. Awesome stuff. Excellent collaboration. Probably my favorite video I've ever made on the channel. And it's well over 100 views now. Oh, I think it's at 20 likes. But, man, I got great feedback from it, too. I've had people actually DM me and be like, dude, that round table that you did on Thursday, that was excellent, and I loved it. And that means the world to me, man. So myself and the 3 guests that I had on the channel, Matt, Wes here, and DJ, we all thank you, man. So make sure you go ahead and check out that round table. Are you ready for the late night Dynamite review, man? We are already 7 minutes in.
Late night Dynamite, man. Let's talk about it.
We opened up the show with Cesar Bononi, your favorite wrestler, and Peter Avalon.
Oh man, the goats of AEW right there.
Yeah, man. And they went on, and Bononi went 1-on-1 with Darby Allin, who got the first entrance in the packed house of AEW fans. Like I said in the earlier, I'm really happy that he, out of all people, he was the first person that got that big entrance. He was friggin' hyped, running to the turnbuckle, doing his whole pose. The crowd was going crazy for him. This was a short match, 6 minutes. Crowd went crazy when Darby Allin went for the top rope coffin drop to Bononi. He got the victory, and then after the match, Darby Allin and Sting are hyping up the crowd. Allin gets on the microphone. He says to Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, "We don't have to wait till Sunday. We can do this right now." Then Page and Sky come out like, "Why would we waste it tonight?" And they're getting booed by the audience. They're getting some heel heat. And then Bononi, Avalon, and JD Drake attack Darby Allin and Sting. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky join in on the attack. And the Dark Order come out for the save. And we'll talk about the crowd and Dark Order once we get to their match. But for the opening match, what do you think about Darby and Bononi? 6 minutes, Allin winning with a coffin drop.
Yeah, very very nice enhancement match for Darby. I really like the fact that AEW had Darby be the first person to come out in front of this big audience here, big packed house for AEW Dynamite. I mean, it only makes sense knowing that Darby Allin's been one of the hottest stars coming out of AEW throughout the pandemic and everything. I mean, Darby Allin, I mean, it's even been shown in the main events of Dynamite when he was TNT champion, defending the TNT title in the main events, that his segments, his matches were some of the highest rated parts of AEW Dynamite. So it only makes sense to bring Darby out here to start out AEW Dynamite on a hot note. But yeah, Darby looked really good against Bononi. Yeah, obviously they're building towards Darby and Sting versus Page and Sky this Sunday night. We'll get more into that once we get to Page and Sky versus the Dark Order. But yeah, this is a nice start to Dynamite. The crowd, already red hot. I love the fact that Darby is just so over, man. I mean, that goes to show you this is what happens when you organically build up a solid baby face in your company.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We had the weigh-in with Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. Paul White was the host I don't really know why we needed Paul White in this, but they had a United States flag and they had a England flag. To all the people on social media that are saying, "Oh, when it's a full capacity crowd, Cody Rhodes is going to get booed. Go-Go's going to get Cody Rhodes is going to get booed out of the building, and people are going to cheer for a Go-Go." Complete dumbasses. Cody Rhodes got cheered like a big baby face. A Go-Go got booed. He even made a statement on Twitter saying how disgusting Jacksonville is, and someone had a British flag with him, and he spit on it while he was out there. Which I read that on Twitter. And Cody, massive ovation, brings out the entire Nightmare family. QT Marshall comes out in an England shirt. He got a lot of promo time tonight. This is a basic segment. I don't really have much to say about this. The main thing that happened in this segment was there was a distraction of fireworks in the background. So I guess there was something going on for Memorial Day, or it was just such a big moment that Cody weighed in at 218 pounds. One of them. So
I mean, but 218 pounds, it's a big moment, right? That big weight there for Cody Rhodes. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was extra fireworks for Cody Rhodes' entrance. I don't even know. But yeah, I mean, this probably was my least favorite part of the show. I mean, it probably makes sense knowing that this is my least anticipated match for Sunday, a Go-Go versus Cody. But it was nice to see the crowd really cheer for Cody tonight. I mean, that was great to see. I mean, Cody Rhodes is still one of the most over guys in AEW, and that really showed tonight. I don't know. I don't see the point in these weigh-in segments. I mean, weigh-ins make sense in UFC and MMA. It makes sense because they have weight classes. In pro wrestling, it doesn't make any sense. Why does the weight matter for a match between two guys when it's like USA versus England? Like, why does the weight matter? I never understand that and why they're adding that in pro wrestling and AEW, but whatever. It is what it was. What it was. I felt like honestly, it went a little too long in my opinion too. I felt like they really dragged it out for quite a long time there, but it was what it was. I wasn't really feeling it, and I'm still not feeling the match on Sunday. But the only hope I have now is that Go really shows us something more than just gut punches on Sunday. That's really just the only hope at this point. But I'm hoping we're in for a pleasant surprise because right now I'm pretty worried that this match is just gonna bomb. So
yeah. I mean, nothing really came out of this segment, but thinking about, I got a feeling that I think the crowd is going to be really into this match. I just have a feeling that they're going to be super into it. Cody is going to be cheered as a big baby face, and Ogogo is going to be the big England heel that nobody likes, and the stable, I guess from tonight. QT Marshall was getting some heel heat from the audience, which I guess is a good thing, right?
I mean, if you're getting heat, I guess that's good. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, I'm hoping for the best. Cody has the ability to make a great match out of just about anything. So I mean, we'll see what goes on. I'd also heard something like Anthony Ogogo had suffered a broken rib during training for this match. I heard he actually mentioned that on Twitter. So I'm not sure how that's going to really affect the match on Sunday. We'll have to see what happens if that's going to really throw a wrench into any plans as to who comes out the winner. But I'm again just hoping for the best.
Mm-hmm. The Cowboy, Adam Hangman Page, went one-on-one with Joey Janela for the first time in 3 years since their encounter at All In 2018. Was not the match from then, but it was a solid match to say the least. How did Page bleed in this match? Did you ever catch that?
I never caught it, but man, he was bleeding hard tonight.
It honestly, it looked like a good visual, to be honest.
It was awesome. Oh, I loved it. I love the fact that he was just pretty much, he kind of just no-sold it. He was just really letting the blood pour down his face, and he was just going about his business it really made Page look more badass at the end of it.
Yeah, to me, though, it wasn't really about the match. I really liked the post-match segment with him and Cage. I mean, the match with Janela was fine. They were just trying to get Page a win before the match with Brian Cage on Sunday. But after Taz gets up. He's on commentary during the match. And, excuse me, he says he's going to introduce a friend to Paige, his opponent on Sunday night, the Machine Brian Cage. So Brian Cage comes walking down the aisle. Mixed a little bit of booze for Brian Cage. And then Hangman says, I know where this is going. Hook's gonna come, and then Ricky Starks is gonna come, and Hobbs, and he says, oh look, there's Hook over there, and there's Starks, and he invites them into the ring because he knows exactly what's gonna happen. Then he tells Brian if he's really if he's really a guy that needs backup, again to beat him on Sunday. So to he tells him to leave your assholes backstage and just make it you versus me. And it looks like we're going to get a fair match between Cage and Adam Page on Sunday night. I'll tell you what, man. I really like this. I really do think that it is pouring hard here in Jersey as the review. But I really think that these two guys are going to put on a great match. Nobody is going to be talking about this match going into it, and I think at the end of it, it's going to be a great match. And like I said on the round table, I think Brian Cage is going to get the victory again over Page.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's definitely a sleeper match going into Sunday. I feel like not enough people talking about it is maybe a good thing because once we do see this match unfold, it's going to get more and more people talking because I mean their last match, even though it wasn't very long, those two guys really put on quite a great match there. Cage looked very dominant in their last match, and now I feel like we're going to get more of a 50-50 kind of back and forth brawl between these two guys. I mean, Brian Cage is great in his own right, and then you got Hangman Page, who's one of the most over guys in AEW, another established new star in AEW, organically built up, and it's going to be great to see these two guys go head to head. I thought this was a great post match segment. Match with Janela was pretty solid in its own right, but yeah, man, I think this is definitely probably the most slept on match this Sunday, and honestly, I advise people to really watch closely as these two guys are bound to create magic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Next segment was pretty standard, right to the point. Tony Schiavone was going to introduce Orange Cassidy, but then Pac came out and interrupted him. He got booed. He said that Sunday night's his moment, and he doesn't have to worry about Orange Cassidy because it's just going to be him and Kenny. And then Don Callis comes on the Titantron. He's like, I don't want to get any near close to you. We don't want to get any near close to you because you're a big threat to us, and we're honestly not happy that you're in this match between your history with Kenny. And Kenny comes behind, hits Pac with the title. Out come the Good Brothers and Penta and Phoenix. I'm not sure. I think both of them came to chase off the Good Brothers. Then they both leave the scene, and out comes Freshly Squeezed to a massive ovation from the crowd. Freshly Squeezed chants in Daly's place. He gives Omega an envelope. Omega gets a paper cut, as they said on commentary, and he opens up a paper that is ripped up to shreds. Cassidy then gives Omega the orange punch, and he goes to look at the World Championship. He goes to pick it up, and Pac steps on his foot, or steps on his hand, and then they brawl for a bit, and Cassidy gives Pac the orange punch. And what was the most brilliant scene of the entire night, the cherry on top of the cake, we saw my guy, Orange Cassidy, holding the World Championship. Great image, man. He looks phenomenal with the title. Unfortunately, he's not winning on Sunday, though.
Yeah, usually as we know from watching go home shows in pro wrestling, usually the guy who stands tall on the go home usually loses once we get to the actual pay per view. But man, what a visual that was, seeing Orange Cassidy hold that AEW World Championship. I mean, you know he's going to be world champion one day. It's going to happen. There is no way they're not going to put the world title on Orange Cassidy. Man, all the salty trolls on social media are going to cry. until the sun shines, and I'm gonna be laughing at the very end of it, man. I mean, it's gonna be so great. But yeah, that kind of indicated Orange Cassidy's not winning Sunday. But man, this has to be the match that I'm most excited for going into Sunday. I mean, I really feel like these three guys are going to give us a phenomenal world title match. And I mentioned on Twitter tonight that this is a possible match of the year candidate when you really look at it, man. You look at the talent you have there in Pac, Kenny Omega, and Orange Cassidy. I mean, these three guys are bound to create nothing but pure, unadulterated magic. And I cannot wait to see these three collide in the first ever triple threat match in AEW history. And, what better way to do it than for the AEW world title at Double or Nothing?
I really hope it main events the show, man. I'm just, especially with the ending of tonight's show. Like we said on Thursday, yesterday, the rumor has it that the main event's going to be Stadium Stampede, and I feel like after tonight, I kind of believe that. But man, I hope this match is the main event. It's the biggest match on the entire show, right? It's a world title match. That's your biggest match.
Yeah, you want a main event with the world title, and that's how you want to go about all your pay-per-views.
Exactly. So simple, right to the point segment. Not bad at all. We saw Jade Cargill, who looked like she found her business manager, I guess you could say, in Mark Sterling. She went one-on-one with Kylan King, who I found out is officially signed with AEW. So that is very good news for Miss Kylan King. I don't watch a lot of Dark, but when I did, she looked pretty good, and I got impressed by her. And now she's on Dynamite, so good for her, I guess. She took the L tonight from Jade Cargill. Solid match. She gets the win. She's over, man. She is over with the fans, and sooner or later she's going to be in a much bigger spotlight in the women's division than she is right now. Right now, they're just getting momentum behind her, giving her wins. She won that mixed tag. She's beaten Red Velvet. She's beaten Kylan King. They're giving her some nice momentum, man. It's some nice wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mentioned this on Twitter tonight. Jade Cargill, I can definitely see becoming AEW Women's Champion no later than 2022. I mean, I feel like that's something that's just bound to happen. I mean, she's, this is somebody who at first I was just not invested in at all. After that first initial promo, I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. But over time, she's really established herself into a big dominant force in this women's division. I feel like it's only going to get better as time goes on. I mean, you could tell AEW's women's division is starting to grow more and more with the women coming in, like Thunder Rosa, like Red Velvet. You got Jade Cargill right here. You got Britt Baker. You got women like Kylan King who've made a name for themselves on AEW Dark. I mean, they're really starting to bring in more just really solid female talent, and I'm really happy to see that AEW's taking those steps into bettering their women's division. That was honestly their biggest weak point. And going when AEW first started, it was their biggest weak point, and now they're actually making the steps more and more into building up this women's division and building up new stars, and you just love to see it.
Absolutely, man. You're spot on right there by Mr. Williams, man. You love to see it. Spot on. TNT Championship time. We had Dante Martin getting a shot against Miro, the TNT champion. Miro's over, man. Miro was super over with this crowd tonight. Wow.
Yeah, hearing the visual of Miro like reining in the Miro is gonna kill you chance was a thing of freaking beauty. Oh my god. Like Miro, you could tell like that was like genuinely him in his head being like, this is the greatest freaking thing ever. Like just hearing those chants like just ring around all of Daly's place. I mean, it such an amazing visual. And Dante Martin, man, RIP to Dante Martin. It was nice knowing you, man. So young, only 20 years old, but Miro killed tonight. He committed murder, and but it was quite a sight to behold. And man, I'm telling you, man, it's amazing how AEW is really taking Miro. He it started off not so great with his pairing with Kip Sabian, and then they ended that, thankfully, and now Miro's on his own. He's TNT champion. I mean, he's never looked better in AEW up to this point. I mean, he is just, he's absolutely great. He's an absolute beast, and this is the Miro we've wanted from the very beginning.
Dude, they're making people forget about the whole best man gimmick with Kip Sabian. He's a TNT champion. He's squashing Dante in like 3 minutes. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what should have happened. I'm glad it did. And with all of this, Tony Khan is actually letting Miro get over by himself. That is key. Because Vince McMahon did not let Miro get over by himself as Rusev Day. Not a chance.
No, because according to Vince McMahon, you can't get over unless we say it's okay. In AEW, though, go ahead and get organically over, because people understand, wrestling fans will understand that Miro was held back in WWE. They never allowed him to get organically over. He got organically over for a little bit, and then Vince McMahon saw that. He's like, nope, can't let that happen. Nope, it's got to be on our own accord. But in AEW, Tony Khan, he sees this, and he's like, wow, that's beautiful to see, because that's the difference between AEW and WWE. AEW actually lets their stars get organically over. WWE, nope, you got to get over on their own accord. They have to give you the okay to get over. You can't get over on your own. But, you know, in AEW, they always do things the better way when it comes to getting organically over.
Yeah, man. So Dante gets a little bit of offense, not much. He eats a super kick from Miro. Game over. Miro wrenched him back like he did with Darby, and that's it. Miro retained the TNT Championship in a matter of 3 minutes. Jake the Snake, excuse me. Ooh. Jake the Snake Roberts then came out with Lance Archer. He said Lance is focused, and I didn't really get much, remember much from the promo. So do you remember what Jake said?
I don't know. Jake, I feel like kind of just goes out and wings it a lot of times now. I feel like he just comes out and he just kind of just says whatever's on the top of his head. So I can't really pinpoint what he exactly said. But what I did love was the brawl that these two guys went into in the middle of the ring. Man, I'm telling you, that was just a little cookie crumb as to what we're going to get between these two behemoths on Sunday night, man. I cannot wait for this TNT title match. These two guys are going to freaking bulldoze one another, and it's going to be so great to see.
Oh, man. Who's the crowd cheering for, you think? You think it's going to be 50-50 in this match?
Honestly, I feel like Miro is going to be just a little bit more over. Like, I don't think Archer is going to get like a complete heel reaction, but I feel like Miro is going to get that like slight advantage because, I mean, as we could see tonight, Miro is insanely freaking over, man. I don't know. I think a lot of people I think there's going to be a little bit more people rooting for Miro over Lance Archer.
Who do you want to win personally?
Well, as if you watch the roundtable, like those of you watching, you should have watched that roundtable discussion. I did predict that Miro was going to retain that TNT championship. Now, the way they do it, hopefully, will be in a way that makes both guys look good at the end. But knowing AEW, I'm confident that they will do that. But Miro, he's going to remain TNT champion after Sunday night.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. We had a celebration of the year-long reign as Hikaru Shida. She walks down, and Bryce Wensberg, it looks like he had a brand new AEW Women's Championship. So we no longer have to see that tiny little strap. Oh my God, I was so bothered by that thing, dude. We got a new strap. It looks good. Yeah. It looks good. What do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot. It's definitely a lot better than the toy championship that they were carrying around as the AEW Women's Championship, because it really basically looked like a toy you could get from Walmart, but that's just my opinion there. But yeah, this new title looks a lot better. I like the fact that they made it bigger. They actually made it look like, you know, a real world championship. But let me tell you, man, it's going to look even better when it's around the waist of one Dr. Brit Baker, DMD, comes Sunday night.
Yeah. In recent interviews, the one thing Shida said she wanted to do was she wanted to cut a promo in front of fans, and Tony Khan gave her that wish. Shida cut a promo. She spoke well English. She said, "Thank you for all the support of my fans during the year-long reign, as I won the title in front of no fans, and then a year later, I'm standing here as champion in front of all of you, and then DMD comes to interrupt her, and she's be like, "You carried the division through a tough time in pro wrestling, and I applaud you for that." But as we head into a new era here in AEW, with the fans coming back and a full crowd on Sunday night, there used to be an era in the old times called the 316 era. And now Sunday night we're gonna be entering the new era, and that era, everybody says it, we're gonna be entering the DMD era, and everybody was screaming DMD. Brit Baker got 3 letters over. How awesome is that?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Britt Baker has come a long way since when she first started in AEW. I mean, the fact that she's back here in front of a full crowd as this big heel, and I mean, literally, it took one night to just in front of one for the first time in front of a crowd to get DMD over. I mean, that goes to show you that Britt Baker is ready to be on top of the AEW women's division as the AEW women's champion. I've been saying it every week leading up to this point, man. And I'm going to say it once more before we get to Sunday night. Britt Baker is your next AEW women's world champion.
Yeah, man. Woo. Is she even a heel though? Because everybody loves her.
I don't know, man. People love heels nowadays, man. People love the heels.
Hey, man, people love Britt. People love Miro, and he's a heel, so.
People love Roman Reigns, and he's a heel.
Yeah, that's true. You know who else people love? The Dark Order. They were really over tonight. Uno and Grayson, they had the entire Dark Order out there. But Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, man, we said this last week, and I will say it again. I don't remember the last time that see Evil Uno and Stu Grayson team up on Dynamite. But man, they are such, in my opinion, they are one of the most underrated tag teams in the entire world of wrestling. Man, they are so good. They had a match with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky tonight. They did not get the job done, but this was probably by far the best match of the night. This was a really good tag team match. The yin and yang move that they pulled. How about Stu Grayson, man? That DDT on the Scorpio Sky in the beginning of the match. Freaking awesome, man. And then Evil Uno, as big as Evil Uno is, this man jumps up onto Ethan Page and hits a Hurricane Rana. Like, are you kidding me? This was a really good match. Sky has the heel hook in on Stu Grayson as Ethan Page hits the Ego's Edge onto Evil Uno, and Page and Sky get the win tonight as expected. Really good match. Favorite match of the night by far for me.
Yeah, very solid tag team match tonight. I mean, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, man. I mean, they're definitely my favorite tag team pairing as far as the whole entire Dark Order faction goes. I mean, I feel like it'd be a crime not to give these guys the tag titles at some point. I mean, they've really come so far. I mean, you look at the Dark Order when they first started and how people didn't know who any of these guys were. They weren't getting over at all, and now it's like people have really just enjoyed these guys. They've gotten so over. I mean, and they've been on Being the Elite week after week, getting themselves over there, and you know, and of course with Brody Lee being in there when he was the leader and everything. I mean, that really helped the faction go up to that next level, and it's just great to see the Dark Order really succeed here. And I'm happy the fact that the live crowd really was into the night. Very solid tag team match. Evil and Stu Grayson are great. Page and Sky, you know, good tag team. I still don't get the pairing, but we got the last little build there for their tag team match with Sting and Darby Allin on Sunday. Should be a good tag team match. You know, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm hoping that we can kind of start to see Page and Sky kind of drift away from the tag team aspect and just get back into being singles guys again.
After the match, I will admit, this was so cheesy. Darby Allin comes out. You know where I'm going with this. Darby Allin comes out and walks behind him. There's a bunch of enhancement talents probably wearing Sting masks. They even had Sting running out. This was so cheesy, man.
Yeah, it was pretty corny, but I don't know. I guess they needed to wanted to do one last little thing, I guess, to build up the Sundays match. There's not really much else you really can do. Don't you know one of those guys in the Sting match is going to be a WWE champion one day? from what we've seen in history in pro wrestling. But yeah, it was what it was. But again, it should be a good tag team match on Sunday.
And then the final thing we had on tonight's show, we had Easy B. We had Eric B. Bischoff come host the Inner Circle celebration. He had the entire Daily's Place singing Judas Tonight. That felt awesome, dude.
Yeah, how I've missed a full crowd like just singing Judas again, man. It's only gonna be even better when we get to the Stadium Stampede match on Sunday, man. That's gonna be even better.
Mm-hmm. So after in the segment, they all cut little speeches. Hager saying, "I celebrate the bad times we went through when we were bleeding and going through the rough things as brothers and as close. That's what I celebrate." Santana says, "If this is our last time, no way to go out than with my brothers and to go out in front of all you people." Ortiz didn't say anything. Sammy Guevara said that I entered AEW wearing a panda head, and now I'm here with my people that I call my best friends and my brothers. And then they play a video package for the Inner Circle at all the great moments that they've had. MJF then appears on the Titantron. He says he fakes cries about the say that's such an MJF thing. Wardlow's in the background, and he says, "What'd you think, Dean?" And he has Dean Malenko. This man has Dean Malenko sitting in a chair tied up to the field goal post. He's about to pour a bucket of water on him. The Inner Circle go to football stadium to chase after MJF and Wardlow. They get tracked down by FTR and Shawn Spears. So now we have a big brawl in the walkway of Daly's Place. It all goes out to the football field. FTR, Brainbuster, Santana and Ortiz through tables, and then MJF hits Jericho with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and the Pinnacle stand tall on the Go Home show before Double or Nothing in less than 2 nights. And like you said earlier, with the Cassidy segment, if you're standing tall in the Go Home show, more than likely you're not going to win. In this case, I don't really see that. If anything, if I took anything away from the segment, first off, probably my favorite thing on the show was this segment. Besides the crowd, that having that crowd atmosphere tonight in Daly's Place for this Go Home show, this segment was probably my favorite thing that took place on the show. And if I took anything away from this, it's that I am strongly convinced that the Inner Circle is breaking up on Sunday. Uh-oh. I think your screen's a little frozen there.
Stand by that, boy. Oh. Cut out there.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit. You there? Uh-oh.
So good?
Can you hear me? You good? Oh, God. Wes, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Wes? Wes Williams, can you hear me?